What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. It is Tag Team Thursday, and I am Justin, aka No Good Comics. So welcome to the channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash the thumbs up while you're here as well. I do appreciate that. This is the show where I talk about the books to read this week from New Comic Book Day, July 28th. My gosh, I can't believe we're almost done with July here. Where is this summer going? It's crazy. But this is Team Thursday. So as you know, this usually starts over on Rod's channel, Just a Rican and his comics. We also have John's Comics with Kids, Tony Old Wolf 65, and Brandon ComixKings. We had a little shuffle here tonight as we were trying to get I know Brandon had to step away for tonight, and then also Tony had some technical difficulties, but that's why we are here. John was able to step up for the team and be on a couple streams tonight. Well, let's see. Well, I think I'm just going to bring in a little extra surprise right now because this man is just everywhere.
Oh,
look at you, man. What are you doing with your life, man?
shaming my family name.
You're just throwing yourself out there to everybody, huh?
Yeah, for 25 cents and a pat on the head, I will join your live stream.
Oh, it's hysterical, man, dude. Well,
I've
great
got
job.
boxes all around me, books all around me, but I'm ready.
That's great, man. You did a great job, man. I felt the random pulls were almost like it was almost like comic gories, like people starting to ask you like what to pull and stuff. Like
I made that thumbnail in 10 minutes, and I was like, let's just go. Let's just go.
I was wondering. I was like, man, was he ready with it? Like,
I was not. The second I got that note, I was like, okay, I can't be in Tony's stream. I got to go and make this thumbnail. But then it was like Tony was having tech issues. I was like, I don't know what to do right now. I'm here. Yes.
Cool, man. Well, this is cool because I've never had any guests on here for this particular show other than some of these recordings. But I have a ton of books I want to talk about here before we get into the goods. Yeah, the goods. Let's say a quick hello to the chair. See, we got 14 people hanging out with us today. Starting off with Something Wong. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. We got Uncanny Swag as well in the house. Thanks, brother, for stopping by. We got my man Phil, Comics Talk Weekly, also hanging out with us here. Thanks for stopping in, Phil. And we also got my man Zen, who was just over on your channel, John, bamfing away. He's now bamfing.
He was.
You know, it's funny. The minute you start pulling X-Men books out, it's like he just knows. His senses just go off.
It's magical.
He just shows up, and he'll show up in any stream. You just start talking X-Men.
Well, there's 3 good X books this week, so.
Oh, I've been seeing your reviews, man. It's great. It's great. I haven't been reading them, but I'm excited for. It. I'm just excited for N in general. You know, I'm glad that you're enjoying them. We got PJ King in the house as well. He's giving me a Yankee report here, getting Gallo and Rizzo. That is pretty big. 2 left-handed. I will take that. PJ, today was a horrible day. We lost 14-0 for anybody who doesn't know. Pretty football score. And we're talking baseball here. Let's see. We got Hermidio in the house. Station brother. Enter the Sandman. That's right. Sandman has a guest today. Let's see. We got Perry Comics in the house. What's going on, Perry? Perry, good to see you. Saw Perry this morning too while I was had my premiered video. Thanks for hanging out there, Perry. We got Travis, TM Nerdy, Station brother. Love what you guys are doing on your Wednesday shows. We got my man, the Comic Nerd. We're going to have to get him on here soon as well. Good to see you, Nick. Thanks for stopping in. We got my man Scott in the house. Station Scott. Hello.
He knows his books, man. Holy cow.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. That's dope. Hey, we got Poor Mike. Haven't seen Poor Mike in a while. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you. And thanks for stopping in. Saw you in some of the other chats earlier today. There he is, Rod, Just a Rican and his comics. Yeah, man, on the road to 900. It is. We are getting there, man. We are getting there. I have to say, since you bring that up, Rod, when I joined you guys for Tag Team Thursday, it was initially just John, Rod, and Tony, the original 3, the core 3, I guess. We'll have to find a better name. But I started with 300 subs when I first joined you guys. And
so it's so you're saying it's we made this happen.
I mean, mostly Tony, but yes, you two were all right as well. But no, yeah, it's it's just something I noted till I like just crossed the 350 mark when I started to join you guys, and that, I mean, it feels like it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I feel like part of me feels like I've been doing it with you guys forever, and then the other side of me is like, I feel like I just joined Tag Team Thursday in a way, but I don't know. I mean, either way, time's flying and the numbers are flying. So this community is great, and you guys bring that together. So get that. There he is, Old Wolf 65 right there with the technical difficulties. Tony, hopefully you'll be able to still play your video because I really enjoy your videos, and so maybe you'll be able to upload that later. I don't know.
I would argue it's the first time you've lived up to your title of train wreck, but that's just me. I know he claims to be the train wreck each time, and I feel like it's always one of the most entertaining shows. Yeah. So this is the only time I'm letting you earn that title.
He's really taking it to the next level with that.
He psyched us all out. There was never a video.
Never a video. It's just a picture that entire time. We got my man Geek Out with Rosko. What's going on, Rosko? Just saw you over on Sean's channel, Slim Comics and more getting some Q&A. That was pretty cool. We got my man Gomez, Station Gomez. Thanks for stopping in. We also have Crystal in the house, Glitter. Crystal, I still have your books. I need to ship those out, but I still have them. I'll get them out to you ASAP. Thanks for stopping in. I think I'm getting everybody here. Just scrolling through. We got my man Rat Comics in the house. Ian from Team Nerd Herd podcast. You guys make sure you check them out later as they're doing their streaming. Always putting on a good show. Thanks for stopping, Ian. We got my man Jason here, who was a guest last week on one of my video clips, just like you were, John, hanging out at the beach.
I didn't make any clips this week, but I'm on the show now.
We got Sheena in the house, Station Sheena. Thanks for stopping in. See, I think I got everybody here. Just scroll. Of course, Jeffrey Comic Con, saw him earlier. Dude, I love seeing Jeffrey's name like light up anywhere now. Like it's just so great, you know. I know he's stepped away for a bit, but it's good to see him back. So good to see you, Jeffrey, man.
Tony, just have a drink, man. Relax, have a drink. It's no biggie. Not important. It's YouTube. None of it matters.
That's right.
It's all shenanigans.
We got Moonlit Comics in the house. Michelle going to be meeting up with Michelle tomorrow evening at some point when I get up to Connecticut for Terrificon. She's driving up from Baltimore, her boyfriend. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of people there. Definitely looking forward to that. So good to see you, Michelle. We got my buddy Eric, who is definitely not Batman.
He's not
on Instagram.
I heard he is definitally not.
Yeah, that's the one thing he's not.
The way he keeps saying it, I'm just going to say suspicious.
Never seen them both in the same room, so I don't know. Dave Das in the house. What's going on, Dave? And we also have Chaos and Comics hanging out with us. I think I got everybody at the moment. So 21 people hanging. Appreciate all you guys in that right now. But we're here to talk about some new comic books coming out this week. And John, I know you had your premiered video out about a little less than an hour ago, I guess. But this is perfect because one of the that I wanted to talk about was a book that just wrapped up. But before I let you chime in, because I do want to hear your opinion, I have some guest clips that I'm going to be playing here. So we bring in the very first one, who is kind of talking about the book that I'm hinting towards. So here he is.
So it looks like your boy Justin, No Good Comics, caught your boy Azor's over here on daddy duty, and I'm gonna just run right through and let you all know. Definitely pick up Shadow Doctor #5. This book is so awesome. You got the mob war going on between Al Capone and his mob and the opposing side, and it looks like our hero, the doctor, the writer Peter Calloway's grandfather is right dab in the middle. But it looks like he's had enough because the mob lets him know who he is, and things haven't changed within those timelines. So if you know history, things are gonna start popping off even more. And man, I can't wait to see this on HBO or something like that. But it's your boy Azorestiger tuning out, and catch you all later.
Boom! There it is, and there's the book.
Boom!
I love the like you're at the beach. Azor's is taking a nap, with his kid, I
was expecting to see the baby just climb right across it.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Shout out to Eric, Azorestiger. If you guys are not following him, I put his information in the description below. He's part of the SpineTicks crew, and he's doing a lot of some content as well now. So definitely check that out. I reached out to Eric. He's like, yeah, man, I definitely want to send you a clip here. So talking about Shadow Doctor, I think he really described it pretty accurately with the idea of Nathaniel, our main character, getting caught in between these two mobs now, essentially, even though for the most part the first 4 issues were really focused on him really working side by side with Al Capone, as he's had that relationship. But we kind of meet this other side, and he gets threatened, and it's a really, I mean that's a tough situation to be in. You're basically being threatened. You're going to die no matter what. You're basically going to die either way. But of course he, is able to like live through this. What were your initial thoughts this particular last issue going into this?
I felt like this reminded me too much of Scout's Honor, where I felt like I had 3 issues I loved, a 4th issue I really liked, and then the 5th issue didn't quite nail it for me, and felt like it just fizzled out a little bit for me. Now, in both cases, I will say, read this in a trade. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think these are really great comics from Aftershock. But in both cases, I felt like they just either had too much they were trying to cram in, or just not enough here in the case of Shadow Doctor to kind of wrap it all up. I would give the first 4 issues an A, and then this last issue a B-. It just did not nail it for me. But it's not a bad book by any stretch of the imagination. And as a 5-issue story, one of the best of the year.
I think that's well said. This definitely was, I don't want to say let down. Like it still, I don't know. I guess you could, I don't know. It's a letdown in comparison to the other 4, I guess, but
which is a high bar that it set for itself.
Yes, right. Exactly. It's, and these Aftershock books in general, I mean, you mentioned Scout's Honor, John, and that's another one where it was like, I almost like was questioning it in advance, where I'm like, how are they going to end? Like, how is this going to end? And, could anyone have done it better? Like, I mean, like, it's tough because you're just so invested in these characters now, the story. Yeah. And then it just ends, or it end, like, I don't know. With this one, I did like how it ended because it does leave the imagination to like, okay, like, here's the situation. Now he's got to, basically he's got to deal with it from here on out. But, it still was, I got to the last page and I was like, like I kind of wanted more. Like I just, and I like that they tried to touch on the quote that was throughout the book, talking about, the I can't even say it now, but basically becoming the wolf, or the baby infants eating the wolf or something. I'm butchering it completely, but they tried to touch on that here, and I was just I like it. They kind of did, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit harder of a hit to the heart with that saying. And I felt like that wasn't quite there.
I just don't think it sewed itself up tightly. It was a little loose ending, and considering it's a true story, so we know how it all ends, and I don't think there was any plan to continue this. I feel like they could have tightened it up a little bit at the end. And hello to I Got Issues. Chris is in the chat. What is going on, Issues? Good to see you, brother.
Oh, we also got Copy 8 in the house. What's going on, Copy?
Yep.
We'll be talking some DC here, Copy, in just a little bit. Yep, there's Chris right now. I Got Issues. Darth Timo hanging out with us as well. Rosko, did I get Rosko in the beginning? Man,
I think we mentioned him. Yeah, he's been bouncing around the Triple Threat all day, or the Tag Team Thursday all day.
That's right. Kachung, what's going on, Dave? Good to see you, my friend. All right, so yeah, we're talking a little bit about Shadow Doctor. I'm going to bring up another guest here, John, and see what they have to say about some of these other suggestions. Let's bring them in here. Hang on one sec.
What's going on, guys? I'm supposed to pick one book today that you should read this week, but rules are made to be broken, so I'm going to give you 3. First up, Strange Adventures 11, the penultimate issue of this series and the best cliffhanger yet. You should read this book. You have to read this book. There's no reason not to read this book. Next up, go with an indie title, Barbaric #2. Now, this series just started, so you could still get issue #1, and I suggest you do. It's a cool story about a cursed barbarian with a talking axe that only he can hear. It's exactly the kind of book that I love, and I think you'll enjoy picking it up. It's from Vault Comics. And lastly, pick #3 is the trade paperback for Shaolin Cowboy. This Jeff Darrow epic was great when it came out, and if you missed it then, you should definitely check it out now. All right, that's it for me. Later, nerds.
Boom. So this man, I saw you grab your copy there, which is great. Oh my gosh.
I knew what book he was going to show. He's a Tom King fan like myself. And he's one of the few people I've been talking about Strange Adventures with. So the second I saw his face, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. Because, yeah, he's right. This is one of the best issues of the 11 they've published so far. So good call, Chris. It's my favorite DC book this week, Strange Adventures 11.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna where did he go? I just want to highlight him here. If anybody doesn't know,
he's right second to bottom. He just commented a second ago.
Oh, okay. So Chris, he goes by I Got Issues. If you guys don't follow him over at on Instagram, I put his information in the description below as well. And Chris, thanks for doing that, man. Yeah, I was like, hey man, you still want to give me a clip? Like I didn't even let him answer. I'm like, you want to give me a clip? I need it by 5 o'clock. Can you do it like ASAP? And just make sure you're horizontally. When you felt like I gave him like all these instructions. He's like, geez, man, no pressure. Sure. Let me get something over to you. This was at like 10 in the morning this morning. But Chris, I appreciate you coming through, man. So I love that he's able to incorporate 3 books. Because the other thing too about asking for people for clips, I've been asked keep it around a minute, so that I can share, a couple. But Chris was able to jam 3 in, which I think he named.
Barbaric and then Shaolin Cowboy.
So that one I'm not familiar with at all. I think that's been a book that's been out, I think, for a while. Or
I guess it's in trade. He said, yeah.
So that's interesting. I'll have to check that out. Barbaric, I wanted to talk a little bit about. Where have you been reading it, John?
I have not. No,
man. So this book is like. I've just heard great things and it's a Vault comic book. So I've read some other Vault stuff. I do like Vault and what they're doing. But I totally just judged it by the cover, kind of glanced at it, didn't think it was from, kind of moved on. And I've just heard so many great things about people people talking about it. So I wanted to highlight, I saw, where did he go?
Nick, the comic nerd, I think said.
Vern, I'm actually going to be recording. I'm going to be on his podcast, the Cerebrals. I'll be recording later tonight, actually, with him on a pre-recorded for his podcast. But
gotcha.
So that was one of the books that we had kind of talked about that we will be talking about. So I won't go into too much detail here. But when he mentioned that was something to talk about, I was like, that's perfect. I've been wanting to read it.
Nice.
Sorry, my dog's going crazy right now. But so I caught up, read the first one, then I read the second one. Really good read. And Chris said it really well. I think it's about this kind of like a Conan type of guy. This guy, his name is Owen, which is
Barbaric. You're talking about Barbaric.
For Barbaric, yeah.
Yeah, because the title it says Strange Adventures. I was like, he's not talking about Strange Adventures anymore.
Yeah, no. So for it's basically about this guy named Owen who is this barbarian, and he has this axe that he can talk, and the axe can talk to him. No one else can hear him. He was basically cursed with the idea of he can only do good, essentially. So he used to be this barbarian who just lived his own life. If he drank, wanted to drink, he killed when he wanted to kill. He slept with females when he wanted to. He just whatever the life that he wanted to live. And then once he got this curse, now he has to do good. He has to be good. So he like can only kill those who deserve to be killed, which is a very fine line. And they kind of joke about that. They're like, technically that's a very fine line on who really quote unquote deserves to be killed and whatnot.
Who's the writer on this?
Oh man, you know what?
Chris, if you know, just let it out in the chat, man. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing about Barbaric and a lot of people have been talking about it, but I have not had a chance to read it yet.
Michael Morrissey, Moreci.
ECI. Okay.
Yeah, Morrissey or Morokai. But that's the book there, guys. This is one here, but yeah, and I had issue 2. Anyways, I really recommend that book because it's very good. The dialogue's very good. Very clever stuff, I think. Very witty.
Nice. How many issues is it in now? 3?
Just the second one just came out today or yesterday. So not too far at all. And yes, what's going on, Nick? Good to see you, brother. Oh, that's that Nick I said hello to. Where's the other? Oh, I thought I had the other Nick in here.
Earlier, Nick, said something about Barbaric. He's loving Barbaric.
Got it. Sorry, guys, for I'm running the chat, but then I have John over here.
No, it's fine.
All right, let's see. The next book I want to talk a little bit about, and I don't know if you're reading this, John, but or if you read this, but just want to bring up the last book you'll ever read.
I'm doing a good job of staying off of issue number 1s until I've cut my pull list down.
Ooh.
So I'm excited to hear about some of these. So go for it. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I thought I heard you say that about your number 1s being cut back. So I didn't know if that was for all or if it was just for Marvel, DC, or for even
a little bit of everything. But a bunch of books are finishing this week and next month. So I'm hoping to like clear the loose ends and then move on.
Got it. That makes sense. I get it, man. I totally get it. Hey, coming from a guy who tries to just buy 3 books a week, I totally understand.
I like tries,
yeah. So the last book you'll ever read, it's by Cullen Bunn, who's another artist or another writer out there who's just putting out a lot of content, a lot of great content. To enjoy. Yeah,
another great book. His Phantom on the Scan. He's been doing great stuff. Yeah,
man. So this book here, basically, it's about this woman who is an author. And she writes this book about different aspects of life and the truth behind, man, I forget like the exact phrase, but it's like some deep stuff basically. And it is so deep that people, when they read it, something happens where they like start to live differently and not in a good way per se. I guess it goes by instinct and it gets very violent. And there are people who are trying to kill her because of her book and what it's done to certain parts of the world. So it's such a big deal that she has to hire. She wants to still go on tour, which is crazy. So she wants to go on tour and promote this book, even though like the world's on fire and people are dying for this, and there are people literally trying to kill her for writing this book. And so she hires a bodyguard. His name is Connor, and Connor. The deal is with him is that he is not allowed to actually read her book while he's on tour with her, but he's expected to just protect her in whatever the circumstances are. And it starts out with her like at a club, and she's like, like a Barnes and Noble, reading to a bunch of fans and explaining some things of what she thought. And then everybody comes up and gets their book signed or whatever. And then this one lady hands her the book, but it's all bloody and her hand's bloody. And she starts talking in tongues and like goes crazy and basically tries to attack her. And It gets pretty gruesome from there. So it's not a children's book. Do not.
No, but that sounds wild. Reminds me of like In the Mouth of Madness, if anybody's seen that horror film. But wow, this is cool.
It's a very cool concept. I do like it. It doesn't say how many issues. At least I didn't see that. The other thing I wanted to note was that he
tends to do these shorter 5-6 issue things, then publish just a ton of them. Just keep popping them out.
Oh yeah, so I could see that. Then this is the art was by Layla Lees, who is also, she's doing a lot of stuff right now. She was the one that did Mother of Madness recently that just came out.
Yeah,
and I feel like there was like 1 or 2 other titles I saw her name on just recently. I can't think now, but anyway, so I really enjoyed it. Definitely check that out. Sorry about let me scroll back down to the chat.
No, that's right. I see somebody talking about Bunn needs to have more titles. Some people really love this book. Yeah.
Phil, absolutely, man. Scott says, I am drawing in this. I'm drowning in books. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So many. So let's see.
Adrian just jumped in the chat. What's up, Panda?
Hey, what's going on, Adrian? Good to see you, brother. Just talking about some new books that just came out. Another book I wanted to talk about here. Oh, let me jump out of this. John, did you read Robin yet?
Of course. I've read all my books, and I even got the sweet Ravager variant, which is just stunning. I was showing this off on my man Rod's channel earlier. Look at us, all 3 of us. I will say I go back and forth on whether I want to drop this and keep reading it. I can't decide. The fact that this cover was so good made me say, okay, well, at least I'll get this issue. And I still can't decide. I still don't know where I am with this book.
Yeah. There are parts that I like, and then it kind of goes off in another direction at times. So overall, I'm liking it. I mean, I don't know enough about Damian to have any other type of opinion or expectation to compare to anything. So overall, with what I'm getting, I like it. Ra's al Ghul, like I didn't even really know that, or I forgot about that tie-in. I kind of knew some of that because of like the movies or whatever, but didn't realize like, so technically that'd be his grandpa and all this stuff. So they kind of break that down. But even like at the end of 3, I was just kind of like, oh, why does he show up? Like, or what's the connection? Like that's random,
So I'm reading the Morrison run, the Grant Morrison Batman run, where they introduce Damian and they have all the backstory of how Damian came about and what Bruce is trying to accomplish with Damian. And I both love and hate what Morrison does because he's just so all over the map sometimes. But that's an interesting run to read. And then I would highly recommend for Damian fans or people trying to get into Damian like yourself, Peter J. Tomasi's Super Sons. I think Super Sons is not only like just a really fun comic, it's hilariously funny. And it's a great way to get to know Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, and Damian Wayne, Batman's son. Because together, the two of them are, it's like yin and yang. It's like a perfect comedic duo. You know, somebody who's like all positivity and all hope and looking for the future, and somebody who's just like a stone cold killer brat who just is like super spoiled and believes that he can do anything. And the two of them together, it's a wonderful combo. So that's how I got to know Damian.
Okay, nice. I'll put it on my list. I have heard a couple other people mention that, so maybe we'll have to check that out. Did you see Eric?
I did see E, and you know, Eric, we played your clip a little bit ago. Hopefully, you were here for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks again, Eric. We appreciate the clip. I do have one other guest here that I'm going to bring in real quick. So, and we'll talk about one other book after that. But let's see this clip right here. Here you go.
Sure, Justin. I'll help you with your show. Man, I tell you, this guy. Oh, hey, what's up, Justin? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rosko here from Geek Out with Rosko. Here to bring you my read of the week. My read of the week, and if you know me, I love indie books, so of course I'm going with Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18, which is a continuation of Erica Slaughter's origin story. Erica Slaughter is the main character from Something is Killing the Children, if you haven't read it, which you probably should, because James IV is just putting out absolute gold. But anyway, issue number 18 did not disappoint. The last couple panels are freaking wild. I absolutely loved it. Can't wait to read number 19. But please go check it out if you haven't already. Again, this is Rosko with my read of the week. Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18. Man, I can't wait for it to be a TV show. Phew. Unreal. Justin, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Nice.
I tried to guess him, and I got that one wrong. I pulled up the book, my book of the week, and it was like, no, not that one. But yeah, this is my indie pick of the week. My indie book of the week was definitely Something's Killing the Children. Great choice, Rosko.
Yeah, and so I haven't caught up to. I've read the first 2 trades. I loved it, and then I just from that point on, I'm gonna just read in trade. So I know the 3rd trade came out. That's on my list amongst other things, but I definitely want to get into that. And then from my understanding, as Rosko also mentioned, this is more about her origin story. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Like these past couple issues of
3,
origin?
yeah.
Okay.
So 16, 17, and 18 have been this new arc, and I gotta say, it feels very streamlined to me. Like I think they were stretching the first arc out to kind of fill more issues, and probably reads much smoother in a trade than it did individual issues. But this reads much better in individual issues. These 3 issues are really tight, and 3 of my favorite overall Something's Killing the Children issues. So nice. Really good.
Chaos just said he just read the 3rd trade. Very good.
Boom.
Cool. Yeah. So that's definitely on my list. I love the book. I've told a lot of people to check that out, or the series in general. So good to hear that you're enjoying it. It's just something that I'm out of the many things. I'm like, I have to put some trade just because it adds up. but that's very cool. I was going to say, it also reminds me, as you were mentioning, how it's an origin story of the main character. The fact that they're doing it in a full trade, it kind of reminds me of the layout of Descender, and how Jeff Lemire had kind of told like individual stories, or he based certain trades on certain directions that he wanted to go. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
So those are the guests that I have. There's one more book I want to talk about, but before I do, I want to, John, if there's one other kind of one of your favorites of the week that you want to. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about it. I've never
read it. I mean,
Jason's with you. Look at
it's freaking amazing, and Jason knows what's up. And I will agree, Jason, that Marvel slayed it this week. And this book, Sword issues 6 and 7, have both been amazing. Like, look at Doom right there on the cover. But no, I'm not going to talk X-Men. I mean, we play tag all day. There it is. But Doom and Storm, I can show panels from that later. But no, this book has been great. Daniel Warren Johnson has been doing a great job with this. If you didn't read his Wonder Woman Dead Earth, you might not know his art style is a little different, but he's a writer artist, so he does all the work on the book.
Oh, okay.
So this is the final issue, the 5th issue of this story arc, and as Chris says, never ever ever disappoints. Really has an unusual style, and I feel like has a great take on Beta Ray Bill, the character. So if you don't know Beta Ray Bill, you've never read Beta Ray Bill before, great entry point. Great understanding of where the character is now, and yet also totally pushes the character in a new and interesting direction. Really, really dig it. The only thing this book was missing, and it's on your channel, not mine, but the only thing this book was missing was Beta Ray Bill having sex with his spaceship, because that was it. His spaceship becomes sentient and a hottie, like a gorgeous android spaceship woman thing, and was scoping on him big time. And I just wanted robot banging, and I didn't get it, but I'm still okay, not disappointed.
So wait, so this ends this is the fifth?
All done. Okay. Five issues. It's a mini. You can buy the trade soon, I'm sure. And yeah, great, worth it.
I can get down with that. I thought it was kind of a long or an ongoing, I should say.
As far as I know, no, that was it. Okay. 5 and done. It's a ton of work, obviously, writing and drawing your own book. I can't imagine that he's gonna. I would hope that he could come back into another one, whether it's this character or another. But yes,
yeah,
it's still his girl. I agree, Jason. They're together. They're making it happen.
Scott, spoilers.
Yeah, right. But hey, it's the same thing. Wasn't Lando Calrissian having problems with his spaceship when it was like a girl that he was dating and it didn't work out so well? The spaceship, when they break up, you still need the spaceship to take you places. You can't really cut that cord as easily.
This is great. Love the chat here. Yeah, that's all. That's gonna be. I'm glad to know it's over. It's it completes in 5 issues, so it's digestible. You could do it in one sit. So I will have to check it out. I know. Everybody, including you, in the community, has really talked highly of this throughout every issue that came out. I just feel like everybody kept saying, man, you got to get on this. So, yeah, I don't read much Marvel nowadays. It's quite weird. As an X-Men Daredevil fan, it's quite weird. But I was
going to say that was another book that dropped this week with Daredevil, Beta Ray Bill, and Sword. 3 of my favorite reads this week all came out of Marvel. So Marvel was slaying it. Versus last week, I thought DC was way better last week. So it kind of goes back
and forth. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I'm loving everything DC is putting out right now. As weird as I never thought I'd say that. Just any time of a collector. So it's very opposite of me.
You just got to go where the good stories are. And I think right now DC is obviously hitting a lot of home runs.
Yeah, for sure. The last book I want to talk about is a DC book, and I just want to bring it up briefly here. But this kicks off Superman, Son of Kal-El, and I never thought that I'd ever buy a Superman book. Never thought that I'd have a thumbnail with Superman in it. Never thought that I would be here reviewing and talking about a Superman book. But here we are. So, yes, you mentioned this before when you were hanging out earlier with Rod, John. It's Tom Taylor, and to me, that is all I needed to hear in order to say, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. Sure. And anyone who's followed me recently knows that I've new to Tom Taylor, but it's been Nightwing that's really kicked it off for me in what I'm really enjoying of his work. I know Tom Taylor has written a bunch of other things in the past. This is certainly not his first go at, DC in general. So there's a lot I still have to learn about him and his writing and some of his other projects that he's working on. But certainly I've said to myself, like, from now on, like anything new that he puts out, I'm going to give it a shot. And I think this is this is an ongoing, but this
he's taking Jonathan Kent, right, and making him Superman.
Yeah. So, and I guess that is the Superman that's currently running right now, then, right? I think that's completing. Do you know who the writer is for that, or who was writing that?
That was Philip Kennedy Johnson, who had just done Last God, and he was doing both Action Comics and Superman, as far as I understand.
Oh wow, okay. So yeah, I
heard it was great. I heard it was great as well. Like, I heard good things about that as well.
Oh yeah. Oh nice. Okay. So I really enjoyed this first issue. I will say it's not Nightwing, or the bar that I would put, Nightwing on. But this is like launching something completely new and completely, like with what he did with Nightwing, he really had to jump in, and an established story already and kind of go with it. So he had some things, some control, some not control, but here it's like completely the direction he wants to take it. So this first issue, it actually felt more like a issue 0 than it did in issue 1, because the way it ended, it kind of just was, it was a little more broad of just like establishing the idea that, okay, like he is now Superman, and you know, he's you learn a little bit about how he's kind of trying to figure out how he wants to use his powers to do good in the world, and that, you know, not necessarily being there to put fires out in forests, like literally put out fires, but you know, to do other good deeds, you know, and go above and beyond. So I do like the beginning of this was cool, because it opened up with him being born, and or right before, like minutes before basically, and it showed Superman, his dad, running around basically trying to find other things to do or help other people, because he just wanted to help. And so I know there was like a Green Lantern was up in space with, like, I can't even think who else, and they were fighting off what, see this like attack on Earth, and he's like he's like I'm here, let me help. They're like, don't you need to be somewhere? Like, they know that he's having a kid, and they're like, don't you need to be somewhere? And he's like no, I'm here. He's like, we're having an invasion, and they're like, it's an attempt invasion, and go do your thing, we're fine. Like it was like 2 of them, and then later like he meets up with Batman, and Batman the same thing. He's like, shouldn't you be somewhere? And he's like yeah, well, I just wanted to go help the guys because there's an invasion. He's like, it's an attempt invasion. Like, they kept bringing that joke back, so it was little things like that I really like about Tom, and even
he's got a very good sense of humor, I feel like, and that's always been a trademark. Like, if you see, I know the chat mentioned Deceased. His Deceased run had a nice dark sense of humor. I'm not a huge fan of that storyline, but more for odd character choices, but not necessarily his writing in particular. But yeah, his sense of humor is obviously a great part of his writing.
Yeah, agreed. I saw PJ King also noting, I love the Golden Age cover to the Superman book that he had. So that was another kind of like homage, right? To the number 1. So there it is. I was looking for that comment there. So good calls then. Yeah. So I am on board. It's weird as it sounds. I don't know if I buy these physically all the time, but digitally for sure. I will be downloading these on Comixology. And seeing where Tom takes this whole thing. Because like I said, this first issue kind of just leaves it open. So I imagine this second issue is going to go a little bit more into a specific direction of some sort. So
and anybody not familiar with Tom Taylor, I got to know him through his X-23, his all new Wolverine with Laura Kinney as Wolverine storyline, which is hilarious. And I believe has its own omnibus. Like, the whole thing is in one omni, the whole storyline. I think it's like 30 issues or 31 issues. But very funny. And you get to see a totally different character as, obviously, an all new Wolverine. And he's very in style with his way of doing it.
Yeah. Hey, John, by the way, did I never checked the votes for our hangout with Bearded Comic Bro a couple weeks ago, but
I didn't either.
I wonder who our number 5 actor or actress was.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out later.
I'll check with Bearded right now.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go check out Bearded Comic Bros channel. We recently were guests on there. We did a pre-recorded where we recast the X-Men, and it was a lot of fun. But there was one in particular that we did not make a decision on, and we needed people in the comments to vote choose. So I'll have to go back and check. This is probably like 2 weeks ago now at this point.
In fact, if you haven't watched it, get over there and vote on who should be the Wolverine in the new X-Men movie, because we split the difference, and we had 2 options. Yep. And you in the chat were supposed to vote. So I'm going to see if he's called it quits yet or not.
Yeah. Good call. So other than that, again, I want to thank Rosko here. He was one that sent in a clip. If you guys are just arriving now, Rosko, thanks so much for sending that clip in. I will certainly be reaching out to you again from time to time. I appreciate that, my friend. And also Chris, who was in the chat. I got issues, as well as Azorestiger, Eric. Thank you guys for sending me your stuff. I really do appreciate that. And this has been a lot of fun showing some of these random clips and really including the different members of the community. So I have a few others who have reached out. They want to do one in the next week or 2 weeks or 3. So if you guys are interested, just DM me. But I'm having a lot of fun with these, and so we'll see how it goes. But other than that, we're in extra innings here, John. This is what it feels like to be in extra innings. By the way.
I'm saying, and I know that Tony's video is now fully up online. He mentioned it in the chat at one point. It's up. I don't know if he was setting it as a premiere or just dropping it, but if you missed it and you're a Tag Team Thursday fan like all of us are, definitely make sure you cruise back over to Old Wolf's channel and get a watch in on that.
Yeah, there you go. I put his information's in the description too. So if you guys are not subbed up to Old Wolf, you can find it there. Jeffrey says he would vote for Harry Potter to be.
He wants Daniel Radcliffe, who we did discuss him, but that it didn't end up becoming one of the two options. Yeah,
interesting.
I know a lot of people are big fans of him as casting, and I have no problem with him. But I know that a ton of people either love or hate on that casting option.
Very interesting. Brother Joe, Station Mayor Justin. Simply the best. Appreciate you, man. So yeah, again, we had 24 people still here. Appreciate all of you. This weekend, I just want to note it is Terrificon. So anybody here on the East Coast, especially up north near the Connecticut area, you should swing by. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be driving up tomorrow after work at some point. Me and my girlfriend will be up there, so we will be playing some blackjack, playing some craps.
Nice.
Maybe buy a comic book or two if we have any extra money left over. We'll see how the tables treat us.
Depends on how well you do at the tables, right?
Yeah, exactly. But there's gonna be a lot of the comic book community there, so I'm excited to meet some people, and I'll be putting up some content, and me and Morbius, we already have ideas, man. So we'll have some stuff up there. Chris
Lopez is gonna be there. There you go.
Nice, man. Nice. Imagine I was like, oh, Chris is gonna be. I actually can't make it now. Something that just came up. No, Chris is gonna be there, and he's going with Kavi. Comic Books NYC. So that'll be cool to meet up with Kavi.
There might not be any books left if you don't get there on time.
No, right? No, Kavi's gonna take all the original art. I'm gonna miss that. He
takes everything. He just takes everything.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. So we'll wrap it up here again. John, I put all John's information in the description. You guys know John. We'll be back.
We're bored with that guy. Definitely. I'm going to drop the link for Bearded Comic Bros video right now.
Oh, there you go.
So that's the link I just dropped. If you want to check out the fan casting of X-Men and vote on who should be Wolverine, see which options we went with, there's the link.
Perfect. And John, you have anything coming up you want to share real quick before we wrap up?
I did 2 videos tonight, so if you missed any of those, check those out. I might be joining Sam's Tangled Web for his new Comic Book Day talk tomorrow. He does one in the middle of the day, so 5 Eastern, but 2 o'clock my time. And it's my last free Friday for a while, so I'm going to use that to hang out with him. Saturday with my girls, and Sunday D&D. But then Monday night, the Olympics, forget the real Olympics crud. The Comic Gories Olympics is back on Monday night, and we're doing the short box sprint. And this is a competition where players can play Comic Gories with only 1 short box. That's it. No choices, no other running around. They put the box. All the drama is going to happen right there on screen. You're going to watch the fingers go back and forth, but in that 1 box to find the winning books.
I love it.
Thank you, Real Rude. I appreciate it, man.
Boom. There you go. Real Rude. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, if you guys haven't watched any Comic Gories before, you really should. It's a very fun show and very stressful if you're in the hot seat. I personally think it's very stressful. At least the build up to once you're
no,
live.
I've played and I agree. Yeah. That's why I don't play anymore.
Right. To the host seat. That's smart. Yes, it is chaos Monday night. So yeah, guys, make sure you check that out and check out all of John's content that he's been putting out. So I'll be doing some stuff on the weekend, not doing Comic Collector Origins this weekend since I'll be at the con, but we'll be kicking that off again the following Saturday. But that's it for now. So thanks you guys for hanging out. Tag Team Thursday. I put everybody's in the link in the description below. And until next time, we will talk to you later.